So today on our live coaching call, we went into detail about what underwriters are looking for when they're when they have to determine whether income is stable and predictable. We went over variable income. We went over different types of income and things that you can look for very easily when you're collecting this documentation. So stable and predictable income, for many people, they believe it's a weekly salary. They believe it's an annual salary. They believe that you have to be at the same job for 2 years. And they all think that would be stable and predictable income. But stable and predictable income goes way beyond just receiving fixed income as a salary. Stable and predictable income actually can include individuals who change jobs frequently during the year because they earn a consistent and predictable income. So, an example of that would be like a seasonal worker or a union worker. A union worker, they're a member of the union for a reason. The union will place them in different jobs. And some of those jobs, maybe the contracts are 3, 4 years, but in other cases, maybe they're small contract jobs and they're only good for 6 months and then you go on to the next job. Or maybe they're only good for 3 months. Seasonal workers traditionally can only work like usually 3 seasons a year. And so they may actually have 2 or 3 months every year where they are collecting unemployment. And believe it or not, if that is consistent and normal for their position, and you can show that they receive unemployment every year during that time, you can actually use the unemployment to supplement their income for the time that they're not together. So there's a lot of different ways to determine if income is stable and predictable. We always look at the income trending. So what does that mean? Well, you want to always, when you collect a pay stub, look at their year-to-date income. And see what it looks like compared to the previous year. Now, you may want to have your processor, especially if they earn overtime or bonus income, send out a written verification of employment so that you can have the overtime and bonus separated from the base pay. Okay, base pay, generally speaking, is always going to be stable income and something that generally every year will increase slightly. But overtime and bonus and commission income are things that fluctuate every year, and that's why we income average them. So it's up to an underwriter to decide, is that income stable and increasing where we can income average it? Or is that income declining but now has stabilized where the underwriter may allow you to use the lower amount of that variable income? Or the underwriter is going to look to see, is that trend declining, and is that income no longer stable? So an employer may have been paying somebody bonus every year, but they're not doing well. Maybe they're even filed Chapter 11, so there's no more bonuses. Or maybe they got a small bonus that year before they stopped the bonuses. If that's the case, you can't use that bonus income because it is no longer stable. Same thing with overtime. Overtime bonus, that is always something that an employer gives above and beyond your earnings. It never is absolute guaranteed. Bonus is generally dependent on performance. Overtime is dependent on how busy that particular company is. So an underwriter has to look at these things to determine that you have stable, predictable income. On top of that, the underwriter is also going to want to look to see the continuance of the income. If the income does not have a defined expiration date, and the history of receipt of income is documented, then the underwriter can conclude that that income is stable, predictable, and will likely continue. But income such as child support, or a trust or something like that, we need to show that that income is going forward for 3 years and that you're receiving the same amount. in order to use that income. So for more information about variable income, come on into CRIMAT Financial Learning Center. We have tons and tons of training videos. We have mortgage support, live Zoom rooms open every day, and we do our live coaching call every Wednesday that goes over all of this stuff. So I hope this has been helpful, and hopefully we'll see you soon in the classroom. Have a great day. Why can't I stop this? Why is my thing not working? There we go.